All right. Let's get this volume under control, shall we? Getting that volume under control. It's crazy volume, everybody. Welcome back to I Will Answer Questions of Any Kind, episode 15. Decided to make Fridays a free-for-all. So on Friday, you know what? You can ask whatever kind of question you want. People have left questions and comments. We're going to go through all those questions, but as always, we give priority to people who ask questions live. So if you're on the live stream and you're going to ask a question, you can interrupt anybody else's question. As a matter of fact, you can do that. In fact, right now, we're going to start off with a question from the live stream. Hey, everybody. It's me. Look at my hair. It's crazy. Look at this. Oh my God. Am I like Bozo the clown? You know, just my hair is getting crazy. I'm not going to cut it though. I'm just going to let it keep growing. I'm just going to shave and my hair is just going to go wild. That's how I'm doing it from now on. Wild hair. That's going to be my new thing. That's how people are going to know me. They're going to be like, oh, is that old wild hair Varnado? And I'll be like, yeah, kids, it's wild hair Varnado. You better run home. I was not a child molester in that joke. I was just sad. Okay, so let's answer these questions. We have a lot of questions from Facebook. We've got a lot of questions from Twitter today. I'm going to start answering these questions. And remember, if you have a question, you can ask it live and I will answer it. The first question we're starting with is one that is on the live stream. And that is, of course, how can I fix this drawing? All right, so let's figure out how Rachel can fix this drawing. I asked her to send me the picture of the drawing. So why don't we just take a look over here on my Facebook and see what's up with this picture that she drew. Okay, so here's her picture. Let's bring this up on the screen. All right. Okay, let's take a good look, shall we, everybody? Excuse me. Got that COVID. I'm just kidding. Unless I'm not. All right, so, well, I would say with this drawing, I actually kind of like it already. I mean, I know that, like, you could say you could fix it with, like, typical stuff, like by doing something other than an isometric perspective or like maybe filling out the background. I think that it has character. I mean, if you want to be more technically correct, I mean, there's lots of things you could do with proportion and perspective. But as far as like it is, if I were you, I would just fill in the parts of this person that should be covering the background. But I like it. Like, go for it. I mean, also, it's strange that you ask me this because I am not a professional artist. Anybody can tell you. I mean, I draw and I've been paid to draw, but I'm not really that good at art. So I'll do what I can to help, you know? All right. So that was a question. So let's get to some of the questions that we have online. Let's go through the Twitter questions first because they're really easy, I think. And then we'll go through some of the Facebook questions that we have. And remember, if you want to ask a question live, you definitely can. All right. So on Twitter just a little bit ago, I posted that I would answer questions of any kind. And now I'm going to bring up the questions. All right. And we're going to throw those up on screen right now. Is the music too loud or is it fine? Let me know. Okay, so answering these questions. All right, let's start off with the first one. What about rhetorical questions? No, rhetorical questions are fine. Okay, and where can I plug in my... Oh, okay. So where can I plug in my iPhone charger here? Well, let me see. Let me see where you are. I don't actually know where you are, but I'm going to look it up as much as I can. Uh, it looks like, well, I can't really answer your question. I would love to answer your question, but I don't know. But good luck, New Jersey. All right. Oh, you don't hear music? Oh my gosh. You guys are supposed to be hearing music. Let me fix that. That's crazy. Thank you for that information. Here we go. Boom. Music. It's happening. Now you should be hearing music, but tell me if it's too loud. Great. Okay. Next question. All right. You call this a $50 haircut? Oh. Does that dog have leprosy? Cute dog. It is a cute dog. But if you paid for that haircut, you might have overpaid. You may have overpaid if you paid $50 for that haircut. Okay, so those are the questions all from... Is that everything? Yeah, I think that's everything from Twitter. So let's go over to Facebook and see what we can find on the Facebooks. Yeah! Is the music too loud? Just let me know. Okay, so I'm going to answer the questions on Facebook. There appear to be no new questions in the live chat. Remember, live chat over everything. So if you want to ask a question and interrupt all the other questions that are happening, just hit that live chat. All right, so I'm just going to go... Whoa. I'm going to go back to the Facebook questions. I'm sorry. There's like a list. Coming back to the Facebook questions. Yeah. We getting those Facebook questions. All right. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So here are the Facebook questions. We're going to go through them one at a time and see what they're all about. It's too loud? Okay, I will unloud it. Here we go. Music has been made less loud. Okay, so why don't we answer these Facebook questions? Because, I mean, we gotta know. We gotta know what's happening. All right, let's even make that bigger. Okay, here we go. All right, so what was it like being in the End of Days movie? It was surreal because End of Days was my very first giant movie that I was in. End of Days was like my very first giant movie, and so that was like the first time I was working on a multi-million-dollar picture, and so there was a lot of adjusting. There was a lot of me just going, wow, look at this, wow, what's happening over there, wow. And then and then sometimes making a fool of myself in front of major international stars. Like the time that I told Arnold Schwarzenegger that I was in his movie when he knew full well that I was in his movie. But I was just nervous, and I said, I'm in your movie. And he was like, yeah, I am Arnold Schwarzenegger. Are drugs a part of your creative process ever? Yes, that is a really easy question. I mean, if marijuana is a drug, then yes. And also, sometimes I will have a drink when I'm feeling pretty goosey. Even when I'm not feeling goosey, I don't have to be a goose. All right. What's your deepest, darkest secret? Interesting that you asked that because I won't say what my deepest, darkest secret is. I mean, what if my deepest, darkest secret was that I was like a visitor from another dimension, and then when I revealed my true self to the world, that existence would end? I mean, that would suck for you. So, I mean, maybe you don't want to know my deepest, darkest secret. I will tell you a secret, though. When I was like 9 or 10 years old, I burned down my family's house. It wasn't my intention to burn down the house, but I was playing with fire, burned down the house. It's a pretty good secret. I mean, don't you think? I mean, I would say that was a pretty good secret. All right. Why are you such an angry drunk? This is actually not true. I'm not an angry drunk. What happens is that when I'm drunk, I lose the part of me that second guesses what I should say next. So I say whatever I think I want to say, and that sometimes infuriates people. So it's actually not me being angry because I'm fine, but then the people that I talk to get pretty mad, and then that's what happens, okay? So I make people angry. I'm not an angry drunk, but when I'm drunk, I make people angry. What? You burned the house down? How did I not know this? That is actually my sister. How did you not know, Kate? I thought you knew. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, we didn't live together at this time. She's my baby sister. She's like, I'm 50 years old. Caitlin is 13. I'm just kidding. She's not 13 anymore. But that's how I will always remember you, with just so much hair bouncing around the house. But yeah, I don't know how you didn't know that, Caitlin. Maybe because you don't pay attention to anything but your husband's dick. All right, let's see. Why are people who are awesome at sex so bad at relationships? Well, first of all, through the transitive property, it seems like whoever you're with is terrible at sex. But I would say this. I don't think that everybody who's awesome at sex is terrible at relationships. I mean, I've said this before. Crazy people are great at sex. Like, if someone is crazy, they're probably really good at sex. So you just gotta find the crazy person that fits you who's also good at sex. Because, I mean, I know where you're coming from. I know exactly where you're coming from. I'm with you on this. Should we just have a civil war in America? Why or why not? No, we should not have a civil war in America, because that would mean that either you would have to kill someone or you would be killed. Really, I mean, that doesn't sound like fun, does it? And I do get that America is hard right now. Although I would suggest, Beth, that you... I know her name is Bethany on here, but I've called her Beth my whole life. This is a friend of mine from Minneapolis. I would suggest that you watch the last episode that I did of this, where I actually talk about how I tolerate or deal with people that I disagree with, because I actually go into that quite a bit. I even drew a diagram. I mean, who doesn't like diagrams? Okay, are you happy? This is a really easy one. Yes, I'm really happy. I realize that often, but especially this week, I was thinking about how happy I was because, I mean, yeah, the quarantine is happening, but I'm with my wife, whom I love, and we are actually having a pretty good time. In New York, we actually have we're not like super well off, but we have a nice apartment. So our apartment is like the entire floor of our building, and we each have our own office, which really helps so that we can have like time by ourselves if we needed. But then we also have like, you know, the TV area where we can like hang out together and watch TV. We have a cat who is not the worst cat in the world. He's a very nice cat. He's kind of stupid, but he's a very nice cat. And yeah, so I am happy. I'm working. I actually am making money, and I know that is like a very good position to be in right now. And so like I'm actually very happy. Things are good. My business is good. My love life is good. I'm happy. So to answer your question, yes, I am happy. Hold on one second. Who is the best teacher you've ever had? Who is the best teacher I've ever had? That's actually a hard question. because when I was in school, I rebelled against my teachers a lot, like a lot. I mean, if you can imagine like what an idiot I am right now, when I was in school, I was an idiot and just all over the place, just like spaz. I was an entire spaz. So when I had teachers who would try their hardest to get through me, and at one point they tested me because they thought I was learning disabled because I had stopped responding to my teachers. I would just ignore them, and then when they tested me, they found out, this is like in elementary school, so when they tested me, they found out that I was reading at a college level. So then they were like, oh, this kid is smart but bored or something. So I can't tell you who my best teacher was, because during my junior high and high school time, I can't remember anybody who really got through to me. Like nobody really, and people tried really hard. Like teachers made overtures. One teacher said that they would give me an A if I made a video game in class rather than my boosted post. This positive or negative is scheduled. You guys, I boosted a post for my page. Anyway, so one teacher, he was like, you know what? You obviously are an intelligent person. I was taking a computer science class, and he's like, if you make a video game, I will give you, you can do that instead of doing in the curriculum. And I did it because I wanted to make video games. I love making video games. Don't even remember his name. All right. Am I the worst person? Okay. Will Trump get the coronavirus? And if so, when? Deborah, that's a good question. Well, I personally am not a psychic, so I can't really say whether or not he's actually going to get the coronavirus for sure. But in my version, like if I was going to guess, I would say that Trump probably already had it and is asymptomatic. That's what I would guess, because I think he's just kind of like buffoon lucky. I mean, he kind of is. He's like buffoon lucky. Also, where's his wife? What the hell? Where'd his wife go? I don't even know where she is. All right, we have another question from Facebook. Let's get to that. Question comes from Cory Barrington. He's asked this question before. Why am I so pretty? Well, like last time, let's take a look and see what's happening in Cory Barrington's profile to see why he is or is not so pretty. Oh, there we go. He's got a megaphone. He's got like a fisherman. He's got like a Kango. Is that what it's called? The Kango hat. And he's matching colors. All right, let's see what else we got here, Cory. Boom. Okay, that does not appear to be Cory. That appears to be his mother. And he put up his mother's picture as his profile picture on Mother's Day. He wants everybody to stay home. That seems reasonable. Okay. I stand with St. Paul educators. Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. You know what? I would say you're pretty because you seem to have your heart in the right place. That's what makes you pretty. Certainly not your face. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. That's how jokes work. You're welcome. Anyway, I would say, oh, here we go. We've got a message from Cory himself. How does it feel to be my second favorite Barnado? It feels fine. No different than being your first favorite Barnado, I would think. Because, I mean, the question is, how much value do I put in your feelings toward me? Very little. But I appreciate that you stopped by, Cory. And I'm glad that you're so pretty. I mean, what else could we want from a guy like yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we've answered absolutely every question on the internet. I'm just going to check really quick and see if I've missed any. I don't think I have. If anybody else has any questions, now's the time to answer them. I did this late in the day because I have been working so hard today, and I just had meetings and random stuff back to back, just like one after another after another. And even though I normally plan to do this in the morning, I couldn't, and I apologize. But now I'm here, so I mean that's something, right? That I'm here for you now. I care about you. What's the most important book you've read? The most important book I've read. Well, I'll tell you the book that I think about the most, and that is a book that I found when I was in high school, which was Greek mythology, just like a book of all Greek myths. And I think that started me on the road to like loving like nerd stuff. I mean, I was kind of a nerd in high school already, but when I got to Greek mythology, I was like, oh my God, there's a whole world out there. I love it. And so that's how I became who I am now. It all starts with my love of mythology. And actually, that was not in high school. That was probably junior high, maybe even elementary. It was like, it was before that. Could have been middle school. Yeah. But I loved Greek mythology, and that got me reading all kinds of mythology, which got me reading a lot of science fiction, which got me into just all kinds of nerd stuff. Why are kittens cute? Well, two reasons. Well, I mean, they have... The proportions make them cute. They look like Disney characters. They've got like giant eyes and big heads. They make those sounds that are in a certain oral range that makes everybody feel good. They just ring all those cute buttons, just like babies. Babies do the same thing. Like babies like have all of those things that make you want to protect them. I read at some point that animals look like baby animals look cute because it makes everybody want to protect them. It's like part of what, you know. I don't even know if this is true. I mean, I'm just talking out of my big old black ass. Boom. Let's more questions. Oh yeah. Well, I just you guys didn't see what happened. If you could choose to replace any actor in any role with yourself ever, what role would you choose and why? Honestly, I would be that old dude in Phantasm. Why? Because I could play the hell out of that. I mean, Phantasm is great. That guy's not really a great actor, but I would be that dude in Phantasm. I would love to be an intelligent killer in a horror movie. I mean, if in a horror movie, if I was like I wouldn't want to be just like a mindless killer. I would love to I would love to like have conversations with people and be like, well, I'm gonna kill you now because that's what I do. I'm a killer. Hi, Michael. Long time no see. How many push-ups can I do? I can do actually quite a few. I'll tell you what, daily, I put my feet on a chair and I do between 30 to 50 push-ups with my feet on a chair. So I can do a lot of push-ups actually. I do that because I want to keep my body in shape, because I see so many people my age with their bodies not in shape. So it's important to me to stay in good shape because I want to be able to do, terrible things. I want to be able to just like twist the heads off a donkey. I just want to, get out there, tear it up. Hi, Michael. Yeah. You guys, Michael and I are friends. You guys wouldn't understand it. It's something very special. We haven't seen each other for years. This is the most we've communicated. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that we actually have another question from Cody Clark. He doesn't know. Cody, if you know, I'm answering questions live. I don't think he knows that. Why don't we just get this response to them? I'm going to answer your question live right now. I am going to answer this live right now. Cody Clark. What's it like to answer a question live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These questions are actually really strange because it's hard to convey emotion behind, or at least the experience behind just typing. You know what? I take that back, and that's my fault. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what it feels like. It's weird because one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm interacting more on social media because I've been convinced that it's part of your job if you're an entertainer. I talk about this sometimes, and because if you're an entertainer, or actually whatever you're doing, I feel like social media is just like a new part of what you should be doing. I don't like the idea of a lot of social media, so I'm trying to do stuff that feels true to me. For instance, just like having conversations, which I love to have conversations, feels good to me. And so I like to have conversations, and I like to be honest, and I'm trying to be as honest as I can online. The reason I pause when I say honest, because like when I'm online, I also guard what I say, because I think people who post just like absolutely everything online are just out of their minds. So I just like to make sure I post certain things online. I have a little thought process, and it feels like coming out of your shell. It's like outside of my place of comfort. Yes, I'm an actor and a comedian and blah 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 blah, but that doesn't mean that I want to sit and start talking on the internet. But that's what I'm doing right now. So it's a little bit weird, but there are parts of it that I enjoy very much. I think that answers your question. Sorry, that was Michael. What is your spirit animal? I don't have one, nor have I considered one. If I were forced, like by gunpoint, to say what my spirit animal is, if someone just like broke in and was like, "Hey, you better tell me what your spirit animal is right now. I'm gonna blow your head off," I would just immediately go, "Snake, snake, snake." I don't know why, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. I would say snake. Snake, snake, snake. You guys. What is the craziest experience you've ever had on the subway? Interpret crazy however you would like. I actually do a whole joke about one of the crazy experiences I had on the subway. I'm not going to do the whole joke, but basically I just moved to New York. Subway cars were all packed except for one that wasn't packed. I hopped on that car. The smell of poop just hit me as the door closed, so I was trapped in a car with this homeless dude who just smelled like poop all over him. And then I was like freaking out because I was like looking around, and he saw me freaking out. Then he started walking over to me to try and like talk me down. That was one of the craziest experiences I had in New York. So that was pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, guy. Pretty crazy stuff. All right, so it looks like I have answered every question because I'm a good question answerer. And looks like there's no more stuff to respond to. So I will bid you all a fond farewell. Thank you so much. I'll see you again. I don't know if I'm going to do this on the weekends, although technically I should, but I don't know if I will. I think I might just do it Monday through Friday. But either way, I'll see you very, very soon. You've been great. Almost all of you. The one person who hasn't been great, you know who you are, huh? You know.